Hunters, welcome back. Scott Sensei here with another quick little video here. This one's going to be a little more informal, I guess, than my usual videos. Just something quickly that I wanted to talk about, which is to preserve your aerial charges. Now specifically, I did want to talk about the SIlkbind Vault here, but we'll talk about all the ways that you can do it. This is just something that I noticed when I was putting together my full Insect Glaive tutorial. Which, by the way, if you're looking for a full Insect Glaive tutorial, video link is in the description. Be sure to check it out. I talk about all the skills, tips, combos that you need to know for running IG in Rise. But yeah, so this video, we're going to generally go over how to preserve your aerial charges. And for those of you who don't know what that is, we'll go over that in just a minute as well. But essentially what we're looking at is that IG has been buffed so that you can actually increase your damage depending on the number of charges you do mid-air. So we'll talk about how to get those charges, and then we'll talk about how to preserve them. So overall, this video, we're going to showcase it in the training room here, and then I'll go into, maybe we'll take it to an example and show a monster here afterwards. Alright, let's start with aerial charges here, guys. So the aerial charges come from anytime you're in the air and you're doing your vault dance, which is from your jumping, advancing slash, you're going to be able to buff your attack. So as an example here, let's look at the deep diving wyvern without any damage or any charges, 382. So 382 damage without any charges. Now I'm going to do one vault dance to sort of charge level 1. My aerial. There's a vault dance. I go back, hit the head, 459. Increased damage, and that actually applies to all your aerial attacks, but we're just using the diving wyvern as an example here. Let's do it. We can do this up to 3 times. Let's do it a second time and just kind of see what the second damage is. 573. Again on the head, 573 damage. Everything is controlled, by the way. My entire build is 100% crit, no extra attack boost or anything like that. So we are pretty set on damage there. What it is what it is. So 2 charges gets us to 573. Alright, so now there's a couple of ways that you can preserve this in the air. Basically 2 ways actually, but the first one is your mid-air evade. Your mid-air evade is whenever you're in the air, you can click B. You'll bounce off a little bit in the air. I would say this is very good if the monster isn't really moving, but more so if it like turns and you're losing a good hit zone and you want to just quickly get around the monster to a better hit zone. We'll do one up, right? Mid-air evade if the monster's just like turned or something and you want to still hit a good hit zone. 573. So I jumped in between the combo and the damage stayed the same, right? So the aerial charge was preserved. It didn't get reduced back down to level 1. Right, so the second way is the SIlkbind Vault. Now, this is the Wirebug move. That's the permanent one. Capcom's design with Monster Hunter Rise is that you give you one that's permanent and then one that switches out. So the permanent one is the SIlkbind Vault for the Insect Glaive. It basically is a movement kind of thing in the air. You can do it from the ground to get you in the air, but it's also pretty much in the air that you can vault. Now it goes pretty far, covers a lot of distance. So in my opinion, this is really useful when a monster, like, if something unexpected happens, right? If you're in a team fight, the monster goes after another player that's like maybe like over there or something, right? If they're too far away or like there's a tail cut and the monster like topples over a couple of meters, this is where the SIlkbind Vault really shines. So I'm going to exemplify this right now for you guys here. Let's just do one combo and we'll do a mid-air evade and see where we land. Right, so a couple steps away from the monster, and that's about it for the mid-air evade. So again, that only really works if like a monster turns their head or they're looking in a different direction. Let's do... Oh, sorry, I lost my charge. Red buff is key for this. You absolutely need red buff for pretty much anything that you do in Insect Glaive. So we'll do the advancing slash, and then we'll do a wirebug. Much farther distance. You can see it's almost double the distance that we've moved. So again, this is a really key skill if there's a situation that arises that the monster moves really far away, or if you accidentally, you know, use your mid-air evade. It does happen a lot, especially for new players, guys. You might accidentally mid-air evade, so use the SIlkbind Vault to get back in a good position to hit the head or whatever hit zone you're going for. Damage still stays the same, 573. The charge was preserved across both the mid-air evade and the SIlkbind Vault. So absolutely perfect for moving both of those. And that's where I think this skill really shines. When I first looked at this skill, I was like, Capcom, really? Like, you gave me a skill that takes me in the air? Like, that's it? I mean, like, we have our vault still. Honestly, that vault works better than the Silkbind vault. But yeah, upon realizing that this actually works in the air and it also preserves your aerial charges, it's really actually when we learned about the aerial charges in general that kind of clicked. And I was like, oh, that's what this skill is really used for. I mean, there could be other ways, you know, if you guys know anything, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. So it's a perfect way to just incorporate into your hunts. Again, a lot of different things come up in a hunt. There's a lot of variables that happen, right? This is just a skill that I wanted to share with you guys, that in case you're wondering how to preserve your aerial charges, you don't want to lose that damage, right? Because aerial in Monster Hunter Rise is very good. It's actually really good compared to World. But yeah, you don't want to lose out on your aerial charges. It's very risky, especially in 4-man hunts. Monsters can move, right? Something unexpected might happen, and you really don't want to lose this triple charge. This triple charge is really good damage in the air. 765 is what I'm hitting. That's huge for an Insect Glaive, right? So being able to preserve it, I think, is a very important skill that you guys should be aware of. Use your midair vaults and use the Silkbind Vault, right? The midair is, again, short distance. Silkbind is long distance, and as long as you get the hit, I didn't get it there, but as long as you get the hit off, right, you're good. So Silkbind Vault for long distance. And that's pretty much what I wanted to go through there. Let's take a look at a monster and we'll showcase this a little bit and see if we can get it. I don't know if I can or not. It's very situational, but just an extra skill in case you guys need to know. Okay, instead of a full hunt, I kind of decided to show little snippets here, so we'll just take a look at some of the snippets that I was able to catch, because the whole hunt is kind of a lot. So here we're looking at, I'm just getting my charges back here. So we'll see in just a moment. I actually use the Silkbind Vault to dodge an attack here. So I'm in the air all the time here. I Silkbind Vault because I see his tail coming. And that gets me right over him, keeps me in the air, and I can Midair Evade to stay on top of the monster's head. I jump down with the Diving Wyvern to end off the attack, which quite honestly felt really nice. It just felt really cool as an Insect Glaive. Now, doing this all the time is not effective. Again, your aerial attacks are more of a complement to the IG. If you want max damage, it's sort of something that you should be adding on. But, you know what I mean? If you want to have fun and go all aerial for a hunt, go for it, right? Play Monster Hunter the way you want to play it. Alright, here's the final example. I kind of just felt like beating up Diablos for some reason. So this is an example where I actually mess up, right? I misread the monster's attack. So I'm going to go in the air, and I didn't realize he's going under me. That's putting me on the defensive. I'm now at his tail, and I actually want to be hitting his head. So I'm going to try and catch up here. I'm going to Silkbind Vault to try and get back to the head, which is where I really want to be. But he moves again. So again, I got a Midair Evade. Finally, I'm over his head, and I can attack, finish him off. So again, preserving those aerial charges were clutch in that moment. And that's just really me having fun here. I'm already in the air, right? If you're speed running, of course, this is not the most optimal way to get DPS. I know that, right? I don't claim to be a speed runner here, guys. This is really for a fun gameplay style. If you're really enjoying aerial and you want to have some fun with it, this is a good way to make sure you're getting that damage output while having fun with aerial. So I hope this helps you guys out. Gives you a little bit of an idea of just how to preserve your aerial charges. It's a lot of fun. Great damage with the IG. And yeah, if you want to kill a Diablos with aerial IG, there is a way to do it, confirmed. And that's about it. I will be doing a little bit more on IG, and I'll start putting out some build videos and things like that. But I'm also going to start looking at some other weapons, so Charge Blade and Bow are up next on my list. So if you're interested in those weapons, be sure to keep it locked and subbed here. And that's about it. Be happy, guys. Stay safe. And as always, keep hunting. Sky Sensei's out.